welcome back to another video.
That's an interesting playmat. It's not familiar. I guess he put his own on top of JS's.
Perhaps.
But yes, anyways, so this is video number 2 of the Clash of the Creators.
Clash of the Creators.
Clash of the Creators.
We have Js with Pascal, who's our photographer for the Montreal Tundrels.
Yeah, and also if Js hasn't made any of the events, sometimes Pascal's there and he'll do the recording. So so yeah, it's good stuff. And a spicy deck and a fan favorite, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll start with the.
So we'll start with this one.
Brew.
This is the Spice Brew. And I mean, looking at it firsthand, you could kind of see. We're talking about, was it the Homarids?
Homarids, yeah.
Homarids.
So hold on, the format is Atlantic, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, the Homerid spawning bed is something we've definitely never seen on the channel, and possibly you may not even know that the card exists.
Yeah.
Because it depends what format you play, right? Like Swedish doesn't allow Fallen Empires, and this is from Fallen Empires, so there's that. But yeah, the card is an enchantment.
Enchantment.
Blue, and
I think for 1 and 2 blues,
you sacrifice a creature, which is part of the cost.
Yes. To get, and you put 1/1 tokens into play equivalent to its casting cost.
Yeah. So let's say water elemental, you sacrifice it, you get 5/1/1.
Yeah.
But I was asking, and you answered. Like, what is the discs are there for a reason? Like, they for sure. There's like Central has its own kind of.
Yeah.
There's always a reason, and it's not unless you're just playing. But there's too many creatures to have Nevinyrral's disc as just a control element. Like, you're gonna hurt yourself too often, so there's gotta be a reason for it. And you pointed out that, of course, because the Homerid sacrifices the creature as a cost, you can hold priority and then nuke the disc, blowing everything up, and then after all that is said and done, once the dust is settled, then you'll get your 1/1s.
1 tokens, exactly.
So it's like an interesting it's like a central deck, actually, but it's just not central, right? It's but and you go wide instead of having a 3/3, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. I hope it works out. I really want to see that in action.
I'm curious the Sage of Latinum. I mean, probably for the mana vaults, just to you know,
get the discs and play fast, and then sacrifice the mana vault to draw a card.
Exactly.
That works.
And we got a fan favorites. I know one of my go-to decks.
My first deck. Well, this was my first deck, anyways.
Yeah.
I got into old school 2014 or something through White Weenie. If it wasn't for White Weenie, I probably would have been too intimidated to buy into cards. So
I mean, this is like I always say, like the introduction deck into old school.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the cards are fairly. I mean, you know, you got Thunder Spirit, Mess Up Pegasus, Order, White.
Okay, but there's a problem.
What?
There's no Sarah Angel.
There's no Sarah.
Why is there no Sarah Angel?
That's interesting.
It makes me sad.
Is there a reason no Sarah Angel? Judge!
Maybe he just wanted to be... Okay, I think the reason is the Army of Allah, maybe, and the Crusades. I mean, the Crusades, those are cards that you actually generally see, but it's possible he just wanted to keep the curve extremely low so he could mega flood the board and then, like, alpha strike, basically. Possibly.
I mean, you know... Yeah, if I was playing, I would probably cut 2 Crusades and then the Preacher for 3 Sarahs. But maybe, like you said, you want to keep the curve low to like 3 maximum mana cost. Because other than the Army of Allah and the Thunder Spirit, everything else is like pretty much 2 or less.
So it's interesting because, I mean, another massive reason why I got into the format in the first place, and the deck was Sarah Angel, right? Like, that's the first card I ever bought for old school. So, like, it does hurt me a little bit, even with the justification of the low curve, to not see the Angel. I mean, we saw in the last match with you and him that Sarah Angel turned game 2 around for you, and I think you had it in the third game. But just to say, like, I mean, everyone knows the power of the card, and I'm just surprised to not see it, and it's probably in its like natural habitat.
Yeah, but maybe, you know, you figured I got 4 Thunder Spirits. I'm feeling good with that, so maybe you want to try something a little different than the typical Sarah Angel.
This deck certainly does not want to see multiple copies of Nevinyrral's disc. So other than the fact that Pascal might be trying to do something spicy, which could require some setup. At the end of the day, Nevinyrral's Disc could just operate on its own and could be quite devastating for this deck. So it'll be, I mean, an interesting matchup to see. Yeah, and a very efficient aggro deck versus a spicy brew with a card that is like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And, you know, not to mention, like, the Pascal's deck is playing a bunch of 4/4s and 5/4s. Those all block all these little things. So, like, without the Ceres to go over, you really are relying just on the Pegasus, but that only attacks for one, and the Thunder Spirit. So you really need to get Crusade. Okay, no, but now the Mox Pearl is amazing.
But I think what JS's approach is like, he's like, okay, I have like, you know, what is it, like 24 creatures?
Yeah.
So, or even 25. So, I mean, he's planning probably just to flood the board quick, just to smash and like get in, get out kind of approach. So probably...
Yeah, we have to counter that. Now, the thing is like, does the Thunder Spirit represent more damage than Crusade? Because the thing is that Thunder Spirit presents 2 damage every single turn, whereas if you have 2 creatures in play, Crusade gives +2, right? That's like 2 damage Crusade is offering. If you have a 3rd creature, Crusade is actually doing 3 damage every turn.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying don't counter Thunder Spirit. I'm just saying if you think man is holding Crusade and you only have the 1 counter spell, it's very likely that the Crusade actually presents more damage.
Yeah. So I think Pascal just trying to
take as little damage as possible.
Take as little, yeah. But I mean, we're gonna see. Wow. Okay. So even though if he gets a Savannah line, that's a 4/3. That's pretty.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, the Crusade might actually represent more damage. Now, the thing is that it's good for Pascal to do what he did because his deck does have a lot of... was that an Ancestral? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
His deck needs to set up, right? He needs 5 mana for a lot of his creatures. He needs Nevinyrral's Disc with the Homerid to do his thing. So he needs to survive. So countering and killing creatures in the early game gives him a chance to get to 4, 5, 6 mana, which then allows his deck to do what it wants to do. So I think that's pretty good.
But if he misses a line drop, then it's going to be really bad for him.
Yeah. Especially if the Ancestral didn't do anything for him. Like, the last thing he wants right now is to miss lands and then Ancestral into his 5-cost cards. The cat's judging.
Your cat judges everyone, Mark.
Yeah, well. Every once in a while, I think she's actually happy, and then I realize she is because she's in charge, but still judging, you know.
So he's drawing his mocks. Literally and figuratively.
Nice.
Hey, a little dad joke over here.
I mean, that isn't necessarily missing a land drop, even though it is missing a land drop, right?
Yeah.
It's still, at least you get to play a source every time.
So it looks like JS is not really drawing it too much right now. Let's see what he's got coming. Oof. I mean, once he gets a creature, that's going to be, like, really great.
Would you like to deal with my 4/4 Javelineer?
Yeah. Oh, hilarious would be if he's going against another white weenie that can.
But see, at this point, though, Pascal can actually just counter every creature that gets played if he has enough. You know, how many? Was it just the 4 counter spells, or was he playing other counters? Oh yeah, no, just 4 counter spells. Oh, this is
mana drain. So he's got 5 counters.
But yeah, no power sync business going on. All right, let's see.
So he's got the land drop. So now.
Yeah. I mean, White Weenie obviously plays at least 3 disenchants, so Nevinyrral's Disc is going to be not necessarily a guaranteed stick.
So that's a 5/4.
5/4, yeah.
Yeah, that's it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 5/4 protection for black. And he could pump it up as well, so that's like crazy good for like JS right now. I'm wondering what... I would like to see this Homerid card like do some stuff, but you have to...
A pirate ship, what is that, a 5/4? A 4/4?
No, I think it's a 2/4 and then 3 blue to regenerate. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. So that's like the blue sedge troll.
Yeah.
Not really. Okay, I can't type apparently.
Pirate
No,
fourth.
that's the wrong one.
No, that's not the right one.
It's a ghost ship.
Ghost ship. Yes. Does he have ghost ship? There's yeah. So 2/4.
But it flies. The flying is nice. Honestly, I like the flying.
So he played the sage.
Oh, a plow on the sage. Why? Are we afraid of the card draw?
He's just trying to really get the win in 2 turns, I guess. So he figures, screw it. Mana drain. Interesting.
Oh, are they playing on computer?
I think so.
And this is just placed together? Anyways. So yeah, that's kind of funny how those crusades are just turning a nothing... Okay, sorry, I shouldn't say nothing creature. Yeah, no. But it's turning like just a 2/1 into... Yeah, and then also then after it can pump itself too, right?
Yeah, so he's using the 2 from the mana drain to play the disc. So he's feeling pretty good. I know I would be. But seeing a white deck, I'd be stupid afraid of disenchant.
Yeah, but now JS is low on cards though, right? Maybe even
Yeah.
top decking, so...
So at this point, you just like pump. Try to get as much damage as possible. I mean, Neverwhelm's this doesn't really affect enchantments. This is, I believe it's not enchantments. All creatures gain +2/+0.
So he pumps once, and then so he gave +3, so it's an 8 attack. Okay, it's being countered.
Countering that. It's interesting.
I think... Oh yeah, the disc will just nuke all 3 of those crusades.
Does the disc remove enchantments?
It's everything. It just destroys everything. Except for lands.
Okay, it's true. Yeah. So
Just an extinction level event, you know. But it's, like, that's not true because the lands exist. So that's a bad.
yeah.
Bad word.
Wow.
Okay. Now
Okay, so Pascal turning it around.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, right? It's like, again, the same thing. I feel like this is exactly the same concept as the sacrifice deck from the last video, where it's like, these are not decks that win tournaments, or not like seen that often, but like, you can still have game, and like now this 5/4 is just bigger than everything that JS could possibly do.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't see this card nearly enough, but they can shine. They can shine.
I love Ghost Ship. Yeah. The art itself is like,
You know,
Tom's art, man. Like a lot of his cards are just like absolutely amazing. And Ghost Ship just like really captures the feeling of an actual Ghost Ship. It's just really, yeah.
yeah.
So JS just not having luck in that game 1. I mean,
So that's the thing, right? It's like, it's good that Pascal was able to prevent himself from dying or losing too much life in the early game, because once he gets to a certain amount of mana and plays that 5/4 or the 4/5s or whatever, they're just so hard for the white deck to go through. They have to have exactly plow, chaos orb, etc.
Yeah.
And obviously committing all of the crusades to the board and then getting nuked feels a little bit bad. Right? Is there arguments where you don't need to put all 3 of them on the board? Like now that you, like, you know, hindsight 2020, you know, now that you know that he's got the disc, maybe just hold the 3rd one. Like, does the extra damage with 1 creature change the clock that drastically?
I don't think so.
Well,
I think he should have.
It's 1 turn, right? At least, like, if you have a 2/1 in play and you have 2 crusades, it's dealing 4 damage, and if you have 3, it's dealing 5 damage. So like, you change the clock by 1 turn. But if you're playing in the mind state where there's no way you'll be able to attack all the way until they're dead with that board, considering the discs, maybe you sacrifice that extra turn, knowing you won't get there anyways, so that you can have the follow-up crusade to rebuild your strong board. I don't know. But the Ghost Ship as a 2/4 flyer blocks the Pegasus, blocks the Thunder Spirit,
and it regenerates. So yeah. I mean, I've played against. I've played people who've used Ghost Ship, and it can be like quite annoying. flying, so it blocks all your Serendivs. It regenerates, so it doesn't die to like Sarah. And you're just like, okay, this is problematic. I need to deal with this.
This could be a disc turn
I would think so.
or a Sage, but I don't think holding Counterspell is the call. Could also just play Water Elemental, right? And then now that it attacks. Like, I'm surprised he didn't have, unless it's Air Elemental, that costs 6, right? Air Elemental costs 6? Like 2, 4, or is it also 5?
I believe it's 5. I think it's 3 and 2 blue, maybe? I think it's 3 2 blue. So he's playing the order. So he's coming in, swinging, so... And Pascal's got to be careful too, because if he's the Manifold, he's taking... And he doesn't pay for the... so he's going to take 1 damage per turn. So that's...
I'm surprised with 12 creatures that could benefit off the Manifold that he didn't have one. Yeah, hold the disc for 1 more turn, try to get 1 more creature out of JS. Makes sense. Now, if JS doesn't have the disenchant, if JS has the... Oh, but the Counterspell. Oh my god. If he's holding Counterspell too.
Yeah, probably why he waited that 1 extra turn. I don't think it was intentional. I think he figured, I'm going to wait 1 more turn, play the disc, hold 2 blue for Counterspell, because in case he has the disenchant. And JS maybe looking at those 2 blue and be like, I don't know. Because either way, next turn he's just gonna... So he says, like, do I just pump my creature to get 1 extra damage? And try to do it like that? Or maybe do I try to use the disenchant knowing it'll remove 1 counterspell from Pascal's hand? Or he figures, okay, well... Or it could be just a bluff. Pascal's just holding 2 blue and he has absolutely nothing.
He went for the damage.
Yeah.
Now he takes 1 more. That 1 damage is actually relevant because being at 6 means the 2 ones have a 3-turn clock instead of a 4-turn clock. So that's actually quite relevant.
Yeah.
But how I wonder if JS was thinking about that when he pumped for 1. Because if he didn't pump for 1, then he would be on a 4-turn clock post disc. So interesting.
So I think he's just looking up the... Oh, no, okay.
No, I think he has to lose a life, right? It's a trigger on the stack.
Maybe he was looking to see if it was... Did he lose a life? I think he lost a life. No.
No, he should be at 6 if he loses a life. Unless I'm wrong and he doesn't lose a life, but I'm pretty sure it's a trigger. So, like, it's on this... Whether the card is there or not, you still have to... The card is still tapped on your upkeep.
But did he lose...
Unless it's like... Unless it checks itself twice. I don't know. Maybe it checks itself twice. Yeah, Crusade doesn't have any effect on Mishra's Factory. But you know what I'm saying? Like, now if Pascal just plays Mountain, tap out for a fucking 4-4 or 5, yeah, there it is. Seems rough. It seems really rough.
But, I mean, Pascal, too, needs to be careful because he's got this, you know...
Pegasus? Yeah, I was going to say, he needs Pegasus. Yep, he needs Pegasus. I don't know if I'm plowing that card. Like, I'm not sure if I'm plowing that. Because if he wants to attack for 5, you have your factory. And the fact that your Pegasus has +1 attack, it goes over its head and you win. Because, like, your clock, now you just gave him 5 life, right? Now you just you turned your clock from 3 into 6. And if he plays a pirate ship, that's worse for you than the 5-4. Because 5-4 can't block. Yeah, I don't think I like the plow there.
Yeah, I think maybe he should have waited. Until we destroy mine, he could just knock out his factory, so now... At this point, it's what, a 6-turn clock? He decides to attack. And within 6 turns, there you go. Air Elemental.
Okay, so it does cost 5. Yeah, so let's see. But it seems like now this one flies, and also plowing this would have given him 1 less life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if JS has a second plow, then fine, but at the same time. Because yeah, you really like JS is really relying, I think, in my opinion, on Thunder Spirit and the Mesa Pegasus. So
Yeah,
protect that
and
asset.
he's trying to with the Crusade. So he figures, okay, I'll have these 2/2/1/1 flying creatures, and I'll use the Crusade to beef them up into like the Sarah Angel 4/4 range. But again, that's also so you're using one card, but at the same time also relying on another one to make it better instead of just playing that better cards initially, like Sarah Angel. I just think that there should have been at least 2 in his deck. I mean, Preacher seems kind of like it's a cool card, but if you're like really playing White Weenie, to play 4 Crusades straight up, I don't know. That's just my opinion. What do I know? I don't know this game. What are we watching?
Yeah, what is this?
What is
Disney Lorcana or something?
You knew that. Army of Allah. Okay.
It's rough. Yeah, because it gets blocked, and then you counter the kill.
So now Pascal is looking pretty good because he could just strip the factory, swinging for 4.
Does he have no cards in hand? I don't know what his hand situation is. Oh, he uses the strip mine. Oh, because he wants to be able to regenerate. But I mean, you don't really need to worry about regenerate, right? You're more worried about the factory because it's just going to be plows, right? There's nothing going to be destroying. Yep. Balance is good. Balance is pretty good.
I heard it's a pretty good card.
I wish I could see Pascal's hand. I wish I knew how many he had.
See, at this point, I think I would just strip his factory.
Yeah, just I guess showing some kind of patience. But I guess if you're gonna do it eventually. Oh, but maybe not, right? Maybe he feels he needs the strip mine now because he needs the lands.
Yeah.
Right. All his cards cost 5. Oh, good God.
The disc, and just putting the fear of God into people, man. So you're just like, can't play this now. I can't play that. Or now it kind of makes you really hesitant on what to put on the board, and sometimes you're just like playing against someone that you haven't seen the disc yet, and you're just like, I have duck. You just slam all your cards, and you just see the disc. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you're probably just supposed to not act it. Ooh, how come not pop the disc? You take the factory, you take the land, you take the factory, the 2 Crusades, and the pearls. I guess not enough. He wants to use it on the creatures, I suppose.
Maybe.
See, you could even arguably take the 2 damage from the factory, and then he plays another creature. And if he doesn't, then you pop it in different anyways, right? I don't know. It's interesting. Because if he plays a creature, then the factory is still live as its own creature, so the disc would get an extra thing plus the factory still. You'd have the strip
I don't know
mine.
why he didn't pop the disc then, and he still would have had a strip mine.
Yeah.
Interesting proxies for Pascal, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's he got going on? 4 mana.
I mean, it's pirate ship, it's hold counterspell, or it's Nevinyr's disc, right? And I think I'm inclined to develop as opposed to hold.
Shame we haven't seen any of those Homerids come in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like a card I've been wanting to see in action, but
he's had all the pieces, right? Except for that. Like he's had disc in play, he's had big creature.
oh, JS just not wasting any time. He's
Yeah,
like,
no more. No more of that. The perfect time to draw Sarah Angel. Oh, wait. He can't. Breaks my heart.
are you listening, JS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker.
Here. Show me the Sarah. Oh, Javelin there. Oh,
So that thing can ping for 1, right?
yeah. Ping for 1/1/1.
Good. JS respects art. Did you see?
But yeah, he's heard you bitch about it enough times. He's like, I don't want to hear it again.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue. What is that card?
Psychic Purge. Does one damage to any targets if
Oh yeah, right. If it gets discarded. Why is it?
like him or
Yeah. But why is it in the deck?
well, he's playing a bunch of weenie creatures, so he probably put a sideboard
guess.
in.
I mean, also if you get balanced, does that count as discard?
If it's forced you to discard it, yeah.
It's funny. Oh, Ancestral is always good. When you're... Oh, but yeah, Pascal already has cards in his hand. Okay, so he had 2 already. Jeez. Now he's up 5 cards. Yeah.
So if Pascal plays a land and creature, oh ship, okay,
Yeah, the body is so good on this card in this matchup.
yeah.
Especially without the Sarahs. Oh, what's this?
Is he attacking at the factory? Probably realizing it's not worth it.
Yeah, so that pirate ship is on defense duty until another creature is drawn.
And that's okay. I think it's worth, especially against JS, a 2/4 body.
Yeah. I mean, not losing is a good path to winning. So there's also that.
You don't say.
You don't say.
You don't say. Oh, deciding to swing in.
I mean, what they say, drawing cards too is a game-winning strategy. So the blue deck having that potential is
I
nice.
haven't seen any stats on that.
Is there any stats on that?
No.
Yeah. Card advantages.
Card advantage winning games. I haven't seen.
Another disc.
Jesus. And that's pretty good because he could regenerate his ghost ship.
Yep.
Although he will lose his sapphire.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, these are brave attacks. Chaos Orb. Okay.
It's interesting to play it with the disc on board, I find. I mean...
Yeah, to me, attacking means you're popping the disc, but then you play the Chaos Orb means you're not popping the disc. So yeah, maybe it's okay. He just has a lot of removal, right?
Yeah.
He just feels comfortable that I can take away these one little things here and there, and then the disc would just be my backup safety.
So now JS really needs to... Okay.
So he's gonna Chaos Orb the factory. Does that flip? I think I saw a little bit of hesitation in JS there because I don't know.
It's like, it didn't look like a 360 flip, but I mean, that's fine. We're playing for fun. I mean, that's the thing with Jason's deck too. He's got so many creatures, so chances of him just top decking creature after creature after creature is quite brutal. So now he could pop the disc, regenerate his creature. turn, losing his Sapphire. Oh, did he forget to remove his Sapphire? Oh,
Well, so now the pirate ship wins the race.
Yeah, for now.
Bands is an interesting ability.
The Thunder Spirit's still like...
One more Crusade for JS puts him in a more comfortable position. There shouldn't be any more discs. Yeah. The card is so seemingly underwhelming, Ghost Ship, because of the 2 attack. But then when you consider the flying, and then you consider the 4 health, and then you consider the fact that it can regenerate.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I mean, again, not an A-tier card maybe, but it's definitely good.
It's pretty good.
It's a shame it costs 4. You know, it'd be nice if it costs 3, but then it'd probably be too good.
Yeah. When I was playing an X-Point stack, I had thrown a few in there and they saved my butt a couple of times.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's just like,
I think it performs really well like in X-Point stacks and stuff like that, or like singleton decks where you'll see it really shine.
Maybe it's just a good card to play if you think the meta that you're going to be playing in is full of creatures too.
Yeah, that too. Okay.
Because yeah, if I'm playing Stasis and you want to pay 4 for that card, I think I'm pretty happy.
I mean, Pascal's doing pretty well. 5/4, but then JS is just pumping out these creatures.
Yeah, no, the flying on the Ghost Ship is what really sells me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mono blue versus mono white. That's sure. That just clicked. So, I mean, the writing might be on the books, right? Here, I mean, actually, well, Pascal can't afford to attack with everything.
No, but if he has the 2 ghost ships, he can regenerate both.
Yeah.
Or at least one.
Oh yeah, because you can bands, right? And then assign all the damage to one thing. So you can still kill the water elemental, but only the Pinocchio will die. Right, you know how bands works?
Yeah.
So any number of creatures can band together as long as one of them has bands. And then you decide where the damage is distributed during the block or during the damage step. So, so you just put all of the water elemental damage on your weakest character. And the other ones survive, but you still deal your damage, so it's pretty good. It's a really good mechanic.
Yeah, I don't think it gets enough love, honestly. Okay, drawing the soaring, but
if he attacks with both those ships for 4, okay, just one, eh? Because if he attacks for 4 and then JS goes to 4, and then he attacks back with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, I don't think, yeah, so JS could win with a Crusade, maybe. So that's why, yeah, just be a little bit more patient now with the swings. Here, I think now he can afford to attack with everything. No, that's not even true. That's not even true. All they have to do is block the 5/4. No, it's okay, right? Because one thing will die. No, it's always the fear of Crusade. It's a fear of Crusade, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can leave the ghost ship back. Attack with one ghost ship and one air elemental.
So he's probably looking at his army Allah and his crusades, figuring, okay, what are my odds of drawing my next one? I mean, he's got the factory too. He could swing in with as an extra creature. It's a pretty tight clock. 7 life to 6. You attack just with the ghost ship?
I think I attack with a ghost ship and an air elemental. I think I leave one ghost ship behind. Like already, if you attack with everything, you can't die next turn unless it's exactly Crusade and Army of Allah. So you might as well just attack with 2 of them and get the extra damage in, so that next turn you definitely win. You're like, he's so safe. I don't think there's any way. If Js has no cards in his hand, he can't do anything. Yeah.
Oh goodness. And Pascal just taking the win. Looks like the beefier creatures prevailed. As was.
If you can just not die in the early game, right?
Yeah.
Your 5/4s and 4/4s will stop everything, and then the like I'm saying, the body on the ghost ship.
Yeah.
Is so good that your Thunder Spirits and everything, and then the discs stopping the Crusades. So the thing is like there's 4 discs, and there's 4 disenchants. So in theory, a disc could be answered, but the problem is that disenchant is a 1-for-1. So when you get it, you 1-for-1. If you don't get it, and your opponent gets to activate their Nevinyrral's disc, they're 3-for-1, 4-for-1, 2-for-1, 5-for-1ing. Yeah. So it's like the payoff of the disc is so much greater, and the way the Variance games work, so you're not always going to see the disenchant when they see their discs. So like, as much as you have the answer to it, it's so impactful versus especially White Weenie when the disc pops off, and as we saw it will happen, and it did happen quite often.
I'm surprised that when we looked at the deck, we saw like the Humrids that thought we were going to make a pretty good appearance, but in the end, I think it was like the Ghost Ship that was like the real MVP of this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for Pascal and JS. I mean, the Crusades, once you had like a few on the board, those 2-1s become 5-4s and pretty quick.
Absolutely terrifying. It's just that disc doesn't care, right?
Yeah.
Because it hits the Crusades and the creatures, so it's just brutal.
And thanks for watching our little series of Clash of the Creators.
Yeah. Right. See you next time.